Hi guys, welcome back to Fiery Love 1111. I'm Tessa. Welcome to 2020, guys. Yay! Isn't it so amazing? Everything is so fresh, so new, there's so much out there that we haven't learned yet. And wouldn't it be amazing in this year of 2020 to have clear vision, to have a more expanded view and be enlightened with what's real out there? And you know, what's real out there is our awareness of what energy really is, what we're made of, what we're all made of. Now I'm going to take you back in this video and talk about some of my steps that I did to get there. And this is a very, very honest and raw video. I've always told you I'm going to tell it like it is, and I do that in my just daily life, and I'm going to do that on my channel. It has been very humbling, but it's also been very challenging to learn more about myself, more about who I am as a soul, who I am in this body. I've had this question that I've asked the universe, I don't know, for as long as I can remember. When you start to ask that question, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Oh God, that question is just like, it's so scary in a lot of ways, isn't it? Who am I in this big realm of things and world? Who am I? I went on this quest to find that answer. I'm not just a medium and a psychic and a channeler. I'm a soul here on this planet too, learning more, just like you. And I'm challenging myself every day to accomplish something that helps me realize that I am so much more than my five senses. Who am I? Like I said, I did say I was going to be real on this, and I didn't expect to cry. I'm sorry. But that is an age-old question we all have, isn't it? Who am I? Why am I here? What is this all about? It's a scary thing, isn't it? Asking that question to yourself. Have you, my enlightened, my amazing friends, soul family, anybody out there that resonates with this question, have you asked that question? And have you ever really wanted to find out those answers? Because it's like asking the question is right here, and then right here is a ton of fear. There's a ton of fear. There's our upbringing, our religious beliefs, our families, and then here's the answer. So are you willing to push through that fear and find that answer? It's not easy. It really is not easy. And I'll tell you something else right now, that I've only shared with a few people, literally, in my life. And I'm a very honest and open person. I'm also sensitive and very nurturing and loving and an empath. So this isn't easy for me. It's actually very vulnerable for me to say this. But in my life, just a few years ago, I found out that I wasn't planned when I was born. I don't want to say it was an accident, but because nobody's an accident. But I was born because my mother, God rest her soul, and I love her to death, she had this time of weakness when my father was overseas. The father I thought was my biological father was overseas, and she had an affair with another man. And thus I was born. Is that an accident? Does that make me an accident? Does that make me not relative? Is there such a thing as an accident? I can ask myself these questions. And it drove me even farther into finding out the truth. I'm not an accident. My mother, I hold no anger towards her, no dissent, no sadness, no grief. I mean, she's no longer living, of course. Neither is my father, but I hold nothing resentful towards her. She was still my mother. She had fears, just like we all do. But my point is, I'm not an accident. I think this idea, what happened with me being born out of a scandalous thing, just was planned. It was planned. It was planned to help me realize that I am here for a purpose. I am here to help others, to help enlighten the world any way I possibly can, through my truth, my vulnerability on this path, to help others see what life is really about. And it's not. I know what it's not. It's not about our day-to-day lives, our work lives, our just being with family. I mean, being with family is amazing, but I mean like the 3D world of just working and taking care of your family just to go to bed and get up the next day and do it all over again. That's not what this world's about. That's not reality. Reality is pushing past all those fears and facing all that's the wonder of who am I, and reaching out for those answers. Going within and realizing just how much we're really made of. We're made of love and light. And yes, and darkness and shadows, or we wouldn't be here. The darkness and shadows are our fears. There are fears. There are fears of all the things we could not accomplish in our past lives. The lessons we hadn't learned yet. That's what fears are. It's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, is it? What are our fears? Do you know your fears? Can you ask yourself, who am I and what are my fears? What are they really? You know, are they these big, huge, dark demons that are, you know, gonna get us and take our bodies away and, you know, live in doom and gloom forever? No, they're not. They're not that at all. When you start to face those fears and realize just what we're made of, it's nothing to be afraid of. So I really encourage you to ask that question. Who am I? And maybe when you see me cry, when I ask that question of myself, you know why. I've asked that question. I keep asking that question. As enlightened as I feel I am, as much as I can say, yes, I'm a medium and a channeler, an intuitive, a light worker, I still ask that question every day. Who am I? Who am I? How much more can I learn? How much more can I push forward? I want to learn as much as I freaking possibly can on this earth right now as I am. That's who I am. I'm pushing that. Can you do the same? Can you step back and set aside any belief systems you ever had? The ways that you were raised, religious beliefs that were pressed upon you through your ancestors and your family, your upbringing, childhood, whether it be good or bad. Can you set that aside and ask yourself, who am I? If you can do that, then I'm telling you, there's so much more out there that is waiting for you if you can try. Now, with that being said, that wasn't the only thing that pressed me to push for more and ask for more answers on who am I. That wasn't the only question. There was many things that happened in my life that has pushed me towards more, asking more and finding out more. I had many deaths in my family. Within a 5-year period, I lost 5 or 6 people that I dearly loved. And when that happened, I needed to know they were okay. I needed to know that they weren't just dirt, that their souls were gone. My mother, my father, my cousin, my sister-in-law, my stepmother, I love them dearly. They all taught me something in my life that is invaluable. It's priceless. And when they died, it pushed me to look at my gift and say, what is there? How does this work? What's going on here? Who am I? And are we all just here for a short time just to die and turn into dirt? No, I didn't believe that. I did not believe that. I couldn't believe it. I knew there had to be more. There had to be more. So in the rest of this video, I'm going to tell you some books that I read, some DVD, CDs, videos I listened to and pursued to get me where I am right now. Okay? And I suggest to you to try this yourself. Okay? The only way that you can push past the fear is to try. Don't you agree? It's just like rock climbing or, taking my fear of heights and actually going hang gliding. It's pushing past that fear. Once you push past that fear, what is on the other side? What's on the other side for me was finding out who I am. It was finding out who I am. And I'm telling you right now, I'll never go backwards. I'll never go back, because who I am is this wonderful, amazing soul of love, of light. Yes, there is darkness. Yes, there is shadows. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have that. But I'm also realized how connected we all are as souls. We are so connected as souls. It's so amazing. It is so freaking amazing that we're so connected. The colors that we see in our earthly lives, black, yellow, red, white, that is nothing. That is nothing. That is an illusion. That is an illusion. Because who we really are is energy. Now, if you're not a spiritual person, that's fine. Look at it as energy. The universe has shown me that we are all energy. We are all light. We are all, yes, there are those darker shadows. That is a part of us. That is a part of us, or we wouldn't be here. But we are all energy. We are boundless. We are endless. We are timeless beings. We are timeless beings. And my question to you is, do you want to know who you are? Are you willing to set aside? I apologize for my tears, but I'm laying it on the line, people. I'm who I am, and I don't think any of you out there have not felt the same way that I have felt. I'm just verbalizing it. I'm verbalizing it for this amazing group of souls. If anybody resonates with this video, you are asking that question. You may not have been able to ask it out loud, even to yourself, but it's there. So, with that being said, I hope you'll just consider these ideas that I will bring across to you, because that is what helped me. These things that I'm going to show you are what helped me grow and really see who I am. And I would love to see you push yourselves and ask yourselves these questions too. So one of the first things that I did, I've talked more on other videos about getting into the energy of meditation. Now, meditation is definitely one of the very first steps that can help you. Now, to me, meditation is, I compare it to, as an analogy, like prayer. If you're religious at all, what is prayer? Let's say prayer is you asking God for something, right? And when you sit quietly and then that's how you get those answers, right? You know, I mean, you can't ask a question of God and ask for a prayer and not have to be quiet somehow to get those answers, right? Well, let's just take religion out of it. Let's talk about the universe and energy. Meditation is a form of asking the universe who I am, who am I, and meditation is receiving those answers. It's quieting your mind to the energy of wisdom, okay, and receiving those answers. Those answers can't come when the TV is blaring, when your rock music is blaring, or whatever, you know, whatever music, I don't care. The answers come when there's quiet. So, and meditation doesn't have to be, you know, sitting down and going, oh, you know, whatever, you know, I mean, there's definitely, I'm not discounting that at all. I mean, if that works for you, that's great, you know, but what I'm saying is meditation comes in many forms. So if you can, like for instance, I love to garden. I've always gardened. The feeling of the rich, dark soil in my hands and just sitting in quiet and planting some seeds and knowing that I was nurturing something to life is a form of meditation for me. Now, there are other people that love to, like, exercise is a wonderful form of meditation. Running, you know, it's just getting into this frame of mind that's zen, that's just pure bliss and happiness. I mean, that can even be kickboxing. You know, whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, beat the crap out of a freaking kickboxing bag. If that's your zen, then go for it. That's a form of meditation. You know, there's meditation in all forms. What the point is just quieting your mind enough to receive those answers of those questions that you're wanting to know. Ask those questions. Who am I? Do you want to know those answers? Then figure out what your zen is. Figure out what your meditation is and start with that. Okay? Now, when I did start meditating, one of the first things I realized on getting these answers was I had a hard time with my body responding to receive those answers. And what I figured out was I was very toxic. I was very toxic in my body and my energy because of old conditioning. Okay, I really, it took a while to press through my old belief systems. It really did. Like, to literally set aside those belief systems and the way I was eating, the way I was drinking, all that stuff. I had to clear that out. That was like one of the main first steps. That's why I posted that video earlier about detoxing. Detoxing your body and detoxing your energy is one of the very first steps to clearing out all that old. Just get all that old out of it. It's multifaceted, you know, getting rid of your bad dietary habits. That's one, you know, clearing out, getting more antioxidants in your system and more nutritious foods closer to the earth is one of the first things. Detoxing your energy field, getting away from the people and places and work environments and things like that that no longer serve you. You know, if they don't make you happy and they just bring you down, I suggest you look at that and ask yourself that question: does that serve me? Is this helping my energy? Is this helping me as a soul? And if it's not, find other ways to help yourself, you know? And it takes a lot of work. It's pushing past a lot of fear on so many levels. It really is. There's so much to it. There really is. But if you're willing to get those answers, these are steps that are needed to start this process. This is what I did to start this process. I literally had to detox my old belief systems, my old dietary habits, my old energy, who I was hanging around, the friends I had, the work environment, it was toxic. And I wanted those answers. I pushed myself no matter what it was going to take. I was going to find these answers. I was just determined, and it's a hard work, and it's scary. I felt like I was jumping off the side of a cliff every freaking day. Every day I was jumping off a flipping cliff because I was pushing myself to be better than I used to be. Better than I used to be. Not better than anybody else. No one of us here is better than anybody else. But I was pushing myself to be better than I used to be. And I needed to know who I am. Okay? So think about that. Start with that. And then the other thing, like I said, about those belief systems, we think they're ingrained in our DNA, and that can't be changed. And that's just a crock. I'm telling you right now, it's just a crock. The question I have for you is, how much are you willing to push past that fear in order to see a truth that is right for you? Everybody's truths are different. We're all on different paths, different stages of enlightenment, but everybody has a truth inside. And if you really want to know this is a good way to start, okay? So some of my books I wanted to talk to you about that I have read, and I don't even have all of them to list, and I don't want to make this longer than an hour video if I can. So I'm just going to touch on these, okay? But one of the first ones I encourage you to look at is philosophy, okay? So I've always told you about quantum physics too, and that's a whole nother animal. And there's a lot of books on quantum physics and energy and how that works on helping us realize we are so much more than what we can see, feel, touch, hear, taste, see, all that stuff, right? So get into quantum physics. If that resonates with you, that will definitely help open your mind and expand your horizons. There's other books on philosophy that I definitely recommend you look into. Now, I don't have the books with me, or I would, show you. I just don't want to put them all in this video. But there's ones called and I'm probably going to break this up. I don't know pronouncing this very well, and I apologize. But the Tao Te Ching by Laotze, Laotze, the Tao Te Ching. The I Ching is good. I don't know the authors, I apologize, but these are just ideas, so you can look into them, okay? Just any really Eastern philosophy basics even, just look into that. And what this is doing is just expanding your horizons on ways to think. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it did for me. It's expanding my thoughts on ways to think, on ideas, expanding my horizons. Okay, and that never really hurts anybody, honestly. Another book that you can look into is The Autobiography of a Yogi by I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to pronounce this. I really apologize. Paramahansa Yogananda, Autobiography of a Yogi. Paramahansa Yogananda. That's an amazing book, and it talks about different levels of energy and what we're capable of as souls. Quantum jumping, quantum leaping, out-of-body experiences. We're all energy, and so these help expand that thought process that we are so much more, okay? Another book I recommend is The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama. Philosophies of India, philosophies of Buddha. Read philosophers on Plato, Alan Watts, Immanuel Kant, Aristotle, even Socrates, Friedrich Nietzsche. There's so many out there that are just amazing, you know, and what it's just doing is expanding your horizons. It really is, in different ways to think. Oh my God, it enlightened me so much. I can't even tell you how boxed in I felt, you know, before I started this journey of finding out who I was. I felt boxed in. There wasn't, there was no, there was, it was very limited. It was very limited. It was very, you know, tunnel vision. There was, oh, and honestly, it was freaking boring. It was boring. I questioned so much for so long, and it's just been an amazing experience. It really has. Now, some of the other books I did bring up, I wanted to show you that I have read is, you know, try, if you're interested, looking into books on auras, your aura and your chakras. Now, this book is from Carla McLaren. This book just talks more about what our energy field looks like, you know, and this is an owner's manual too, just so you know. And she's amazing. I'm not laughing at it, not at one bit. It shows, the book tells us about just how much more our energy fields are made of, and not just, oh, there's so much to it. I can hardly even really get into it. But I just recommend, you know, checking in this book, read this book, enlighten yourself just a little bit more about how energy works with our bodies. Another one is just looking into chakra crystals. There's all kinds of different crystals out here that help expand our awareness of our energy field. You know what I mean? Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there, okay? But the more that you try and push yourself to ask what is there, the more you will see it, the more you will feel and know that you are, you know, made of this wonderful energy that's so changing constantly, and just oh gosh, it's like, you know, we're not just balls of white light, you know, we're so much more to it. So these books even you know, help you change that thinking, help you change that way of thinking, and how we were raised, and what we can see in this 3D world is nothing compared to the reality of our energy field. It really is. That's one of the best ways I can describe it. But another book I do recommend reading is, and this is a updated version, I think. It's just actually, no, it's not updated. It's one of the originals. Life After Life by Raymond Moody. And this does talk about case histories of people that have been clinically declared dead and like came back to life. And this is a lot of their stories. This is an amazing, amazing book to touch on and just expand your awareness. Another one I like is reading about the basic teachings of the great philosophers. Now, this is just one book, like I said, that I have read, and it's by S.E. Frost. The basic teachings of the great philosophers. It's just a different way of thinking, expanding your horizons. Okay. And like I said, this is another book I definitely recommend that I have, and these are all ones I have read too, is Deepak Chopra's Quantum Healing. This one is an amazing book, and if there's ever only one book that you would read in this whole entire list, I recommend this one. This one is huge. It talks about the energy properties of our bodies, and how if we change the way we think, we can heal ourselves. Literally tell our minds to heal the cells, atoms, the energy parts of our body literally can be healed. And I'm talking even from cancers. People that have been diagnosed with cancers and only given 5% chance of survival. Okay? This is like literally people being told, hey, you have this 4th stage ovarian cancer or whatever, and you only have a few months to live. They literally didn't listen to the doctors of Western medicine and told themselves, I'm not going to accept that belief. I am going to heal myself. And they literally healed the cells in their body. And it's a quantum physics level. It's science. It's energy. Okay? If this one book, it changed my life. It really did. It really helped me connect with the knowing that I had deep inside of myself about what we're made of. I totally recommend this across the board. Okay, so definitely, look into reading that. And then, there's other things that you can do, not just reading books, but I suggest also to test the theories in reality, in our 3D here, not just, read a book and go within and try to come up with your own truths. Everybody's going to do that, right? Everybody's going to find their own truth, whatever that is. But one other thing that a journey I went on to find who I am is I started reading these books, and this one is called Journey of Souls. He's by Michael Newton, and he used to do, he started this institute of this, what do you call it? It's a therapy where you take somebody back as an, what do you call it? And I'm missing the words that I need right now. And a hypnosis, hypnotizing. It's a hypnosis technique that helped to take a soul back to the last day of their last life. They experience themselves dying, and then they go into the spiritual realm. Now, when this happens, it helps you realize that we are all immortal beings. We don't die. We're energy. Once these bodies die, we just change form. And I read this book, and then I read the next book, Destiny of Souls. It just all talks about case studies of these people that were hypnotized and did this life between lives therapy. And they all had different, of course, lives that they had lived, and they had died, whether it was, in battle, it was, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 400, thousands of years ago. It didn't matter. What mattered was the fact that after everybody was taken out of their body of that past life, they realized they're okay. I'm still here. I'm a soul, and I'm alive. And you still have the same properties that you had in a body, except you have more freedom. We're energy. We're expansive. And so because I read these books, I actually found a therapist that was taught with this Michael Newton Institute. I saw this therapist in Lafayette and tried it myself. I had to try it myself. That was the thing. I didn't, we're all skeptic. There's always so much a part of us, this left-sided, analytical, well, how do I know it's true? And how do I know it wasn't just, somebody telling me this is how it's going to happen. So you psychoanalyze and you believe it's going to happen, and, psychosomatic and, all this other crap, right? Well, I didn't want to think that way. I didn't want to think anything. I opened my mind. I asked the question, what is possible? What is possible? Yeah, there's great case studies in this book. There's great case studies in this book. But what about me? If this can happen with these people, what about me? What can happen with me? And so I had 2 or 3 different sessions with this therapist, and it changed my life. It really changed my life. And I'm not afraid of dying anymore. There's no fear of dying whatsoever, because I know once I'm out of this earthly body, I'm energy. I'm just going to change form. Okay? I'm not limited by this earthly form when I die. No. I'm so much more. I'm so much more. And so I encourage you to think beyond. Think beyond. If you really want to know the answers to those questions, who am I? Think beyond. Try these things. Look into quantum healing, quantum jumping, out-of-body experiences. I did so much research on so many different aspects of our energy fields. It was just astounding. And the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn, the more I experienced even taking these classes and going through this therapy, the more I wanted to learn. I mean, they give you MP3 files now. I did them years ago and I got them on a CD disc, but this is the therapy, sessions I had, not therapy, but the life between lives sessions I had. And, I'll just touch on that as far as taking those life between lives therapy. It confirmed things that I was seeing and knowing that I had of past lives. It confirmed it for me. It really confirmed it. It didn't bring it out of my brain. It connected to me, to my past lives, to my other lives, and it confirmed it. It was a knowing. Because with every life that we live, we bring in a little bit of every life. Every experience we have on earth brings with it a little bit of each past life we've ever lived. Okay? So, like, say you have a fear of heights. Well, I have a fear of heights, and I found out with this life between lives session that one of the ways I died was, falling off a building, and it caused me to bring into this life a fear of heights, because I have a little bit of that soul memory there. So do you see what I mean? Like, the more you ask these questions to yourself, the more you push to learn, the more you'll realize how much all these things are connected. Okay? They're all connected, and we are connected. So I definitely urge you to try these things. Another thing that I went out and bought, and I did, that is amazing to me, is this Gamma meditation system. Now, Dr. Jeffrey Thompson is the one that you can find a lot of his meditation for free on Amazon Music. Or you can buy a CD system, like I have this too, but now I just go on and do the MP3, whatever. But here's a meditation system that takes you into a different brain wave, you know, the alpha, the theta, the gamma, the beta, you know, it helps you, honestly, for me, it helped me connect to my higher self. It helped me connect to my soul on a much deeper level. It took me out of my 3D body, my 3D brain, my 3D, the very limited senses that we have in the earthly realm. It helped me connect to my soul. It helps me connect to the universe as a whole. So this is one other thing I recommend highly, highly, highly to try. Now this CD system is just one of very many that are out there. This first one is Gamma Meditation 2.0. It helps to deepen your meditation, awaken insight and clarity, and inspire personal transformation. Now the sound of it is it's just like a humming. It's a you know, it's very, there's no music, there's no, it's a very it's just a humming. So you'll have to probably turn your turn the volume up quite loud, but if you could try to sit quietly, it sets you into these brain waves that are a higher the gamma waves, and helps you really connect to your soul. Honestly, that's what it did for me. That's what it helped me connect to the universe on such a deeper level. It awakened a lot of insight and clarity in who we are as souls, okay? As souls, as spirit, as energy. We are energy of light. It is so amazing. Now the second CD in his, this 2 CD set is opening to compassion and experiencing deep meditative states and heighten your awareness and perception. Okay, so that helps open up that energy field of awareness and perception of who we are as souls and how we are all connected. I mean, it may work for you right away. This may actually like click with you, and you'll realize, wow, that really is true. All my deep inner knowings, they're real. You know, like everybody's experience is going to be different is what I mean, okay? But expanding that awareness is what's important, okay? So I definitely recommend, you know, try all these things, try one of them. It doesn't matter. Try what works for you. What is your truth? What speaks to you? Okay, is it philosophy? Then get into philosophy. Whatever helps you connect with that question of who I am. That's what's important. And you know, with this new year of 2020, that's what it's all about. That's what there's so many souls out there, and I'll call them a collective of souls. I'm talking a huge collective of souls out there is asking those questions. 2020 is getting clearer vision. 2020 is getting those answers, that taking away all that falseness, all the deception of anything that has not served us, and looking for the truth. It's looking for the truth and finding that truth. So I hope you will ask that question too. Ask that question of who am I? And go on this lovely journey and find out. Find out, you know? Because I'm telling you, it's just, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's really awesome. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments if you would like me to make another video on this subject, especially energy, you know, ways to, other ways to search for these answers in yourself too, okay? And yeah, and you can always send me an email to firylove1111@gmail.com. All right, guys, welcome to 2020. this wonderful year of opening our eyes, seeing clearer. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and take care. All right. I love you. Bye.